See this injury? This is not what you want happening during your marathon prep. And I'm not here to tell you how to avoid accidents like this because the truth is you can't. Even the most cautious of us can't prevent every fall or every freak event from happening. They are inevitable and oftentimes uncontrollable. But what I can share is how you can still safeguard your mindset and your body so that when setbacks like this happen, your marathon prep doesn't completely get derailed. That way, even if you get knocked off the course by some unforeseen event, you'll still be ready to show up strong on race day. These are some tips that I'm using to help me to not mess up my marathon prep. First of all, starting with your mindset. The way I think of it, setbacks will always happen. But importantly, this doesn't mean that it is the end of the road, right? For me, even when I fell, I never once thought of quitting. Did I feel disheartened? Of course I did, especially the immediate moment when I saw that gaping wound on my knee and it was bleeding all over, and actually it was on all four of my limbs, and I thought that, hey, this could be a good while before I get back to running again. But I never once felt defeated. Secondly, would be to build your safety net early. I think that what really helped to me to build that quiet confidence, knowing that I would still be able to get back into race prep once my knee recovers, and it hasn't yet, is really prepping early, because prepping early means insurance. And insurance in the sense that having all that running training I've accumulated in the past months leading up to this injury means that I still have some base fitness reserves that I can rely on. So even if I pause now, I trust that my foundation can still bring me back to a good state of running fitness when I do eventually hit back onto the tracks or onto the road. And thirdly would be to adapt and don't pause completely. So what do I mean by this? Even as I was injured and as I was slowly recovering, I wasn't able to run, but that didn't mean that I stopped working out altogether. My upper limbs are still fine. Yes, I have some cuts here and there, but I didn't let them stop me. I still went about doing my upper body exercises, strength and core work. Those are still fundamental. Those still translate into some running benefits, so I still proceeded with some of those workouts. And even by about day 5, when my casts were starting to become a bit less of a hindrance in my movement, in my mobility, even though I'm not at 100% yet, I already started incorporating some slow walks just to be able to keep my legs moving, just to get my calves, my knees, my thighs used to be able to being in a standing or walking position for a long duration of time, so that would mimic the aspect of it during race day itself. So the idea here is to really keep your internal engine warm even if you can't be running at full speed. And last point I wanted to mention is to continue to keep your head in the game. So drawing back to the first point I mentioned, which was about being mentally in it, this is again bringing home the emphasis that marathon prep isn't only physical. It's about staying mentally invested even when I can't run. So small actions like walks, strength work, maintaining routines, all of this will continue to reinforce my identity as a runner and not as someone that's just benched or sidelined. So I hope you found these small tips useful. Importantly, setbacks do not mean your marathon dream is over. As soon as I got injured, I think within a couple of hours, as I was admitted into the accident and emergencies department in the hospital, I was really thinking about how to spin this off into the next video idea. And I think that's really all about what I mean when I say keeping your head in the game. Importantly, these accidents, they just mean that you take a detour, but ultimately you should still be moving forward. And if you have built your base early enough, you know that you'll always have that safety net to bounce back on. I hope to be back on the track soon. Obviously, I can only say all of this with some kind of blind faith. You might say that I'm going to be better, I'm going to be running well. Who knows how much of this will actually manifest when I eventually start running again after this recovery. Maybe I'm back to square one again, but for that, you'll have to tune in to the next video. Thanks for now and take care.